Whispering Pines. The name sounds almost peaceful, doesn't it? But it's a lie. The house stands on a hill overlooking a town that pretends it isn't there. Trees crowd around it, their branches like skeletal fingers clawing at the sky. The pines, they whisper secrets, dark secrets. No birds sing near this place. Silence hangs heavy, a suffocating blanket. You feel it press down the moment you step onto the overgrown drive. The paint on the house is peeling, like sunburnt skin, revealing the dark wood beneath. Windows stare out like vacant eyes. Some are boarded up, others are broken, jagged teeth in a silent snarl. The porch sags, groaning under a weight unseen. It dares you to step closer, to come inside. The shadows here dance, even when there is no light. The history of Whispering Pines is a tapestry, woven with threads of sorrow and fear, a place where the past lingers like a ghostly whisper. It was built in the late 1800s by a man named Josiah Ashworth. He was wealthy, ambitious, and driven by a desire to leave a lasting legacy. He wanted a grand estate, a symbol of his success, a monument to his name that would stand the test of time. He chose this hill despite the local warnings. He did not listen to the tales of misfortune that surrounded the land. People said the ground held bad memories, that it was cursed. He called it superstition, dismissing their fears. He would soon learn otherwise, as the land's dark history began to reveal itself. His dream became his nightmare. Rumors began almost immediately, whispers of the land's resistance to change. Strange accidents plagued the construction. Workers fell from scaffolding. Tools vanished mysteriously, as if taken by unseen hands. Whispers grew among the townsfolk. Tales of the house's malevolent spirit spread like wildfire. They said the house was resisting being built. Josiah pressed on, determined to see his vision come to life. He moved his family in, hoping their presence would bring warmth to the cold walls. His wife, Ilara, his 2 young children, all became part of this grand experiment. They were not happy there. The house seemed to drain their spirits, leaving them in a perpetual state of unease. Ilara wrote letters to her sister, full of unease and fear. She described the house as cold and unwelcoming. She spoke of cold drafts, unsettling noises, a feeling of being constantly watched. Her letters stopped abruptly, leaving her sister in worry. The official story was tragic. A sudden illness claimed her life, but the whispers told a different tale. Visit Whispering Pines if you dare. You will feel it. The air changes. It becomes thick, heavy, difficult to breathe, as if something is stealing the oxygen, sucking the life out of the space. Cold spots drift through rooms like invisible spectres. One moment you are comfortable, the next an icy grip clutches you, raising goosebumps on your skin. There is no open window, no draft, just the cold and the feeling. You are not alone. Disembodied voices are common, faint whispers just at the edge of hearing. Sometimes they seem to call your name, a soft, insidious murmur. Other times it is a sigh, a mournful sound echoing from an empty hallway, or a sob coming from a locked room. Marcus Thorne was a paranormal investigator, a man driven by curiosity and a thirst for the unknown. He had seen many things, heard many stories, each more bizarre than the last. He prided himself on his skepticism, his methodical approach, always seeking the truth behind the tales. He came to Whispering Pines alone one cold October night, determined to uncover its secrets. He wanted to experience it firsthand, without the interference of others, to feel the presence himself. He set up his equipment meticulously, ensuring everything was in place. Cameras, audio recorders, EMF meters. He was prepared, or so he thought. The house was waiting for him. It always waits, with an eerie patience. The first few hours were quiet, deceptively so. lulling him into a false sense of security. Marcus noted the temperature drops, the occasional flicker of his flashlight, signs of something lurking, standard fare for an old abandoned house. Then he heard it. Footsteps, upstairs. Heavy, deliberate, pacing back and forth directly above him, echoing through the silence. He was alone in the house, or so he believed. He had checked every room, locked the doors, ensuring no one could enter. His heart began to pound, a primal fear taking hold. This was not the wind, nor a figment of his imagination. This was not the house settling. Something was there with him in the darkness. Section 5. The group that never left whole. 4 college students looking for a thrill, a dare. They had heard the legends of Whispering Pines. They laughed them off. Ghost stories, urban myths. They packed a cooler, flashlights, a video camera for their adventure. They arrived at dusk. The house loomed against the fading light, more menacing than they expected. Their laughter died down. A nervous energy took its place. They pushed open the creaking front door and stepped inside, into the darkness. They decided to stick together. Safety in numbers, or so they believed. The house felt vast, a labyrinth of dark rooms and silent hallways. Dust lay thick everywhere. The air was stale, heavy with unspoken history. One of them, Sarah, felt it first, a prickling sensation on her skin, like static electricity. She tried to ignore it. Section 6. The Curse of the Ashworths, a family undone. The true horror of Whispering Pines lies in its origins, with the Ashworth family, Josiah, Ilara, their children Thomas and Emily. They were meant to be the first, the proud inhabitants of a grand new home. Instead, they became its first victims. The curse, some say, was tied to the land, an ancient grievance, disturbed by Josiah's ambition. Others whisper of a darker force, invited or awakened by Josiah himself, seeking something more than wealth. Ilara Ashworth was a sensitive soul. She felt the wrongness of the place immediately, the oppressive atmosphere, the constant chilling drafts. She heard whispers in the empty rooms, saw shadows move in the periphery of her vision. She tried to tell Josiah. He dismissed her fears. Section 7. Elias Ashworth's Desperate Pact. Decades after Josiah, his estranged nephew Elias Ashworth inherited Whispering Pines. The mansion, shrouded in mystery and dark tales, became his obsession. He was a scholar of the occult, deeply fascinated by the unknown and the forbidden, drawn to the house by its grim reputation, not by familial duty. He believed the stories of hauntings and curses. He saw them not as a curse, but as a potential source of immense power. But as a source of power, something he could harness and control. He arrived with ancient texts, strange artifacts, and a burning desire to uncover the mansion's secrets. He sought to understand the entity within the house, to control it, and perhaps even to bargain with it. A foolish, dangerous ambition that consumed him. Elias spent months in isolation, poring over his books, deciphering ancient texts, conducting rituals in the dead of night, hoping to summon and control the dark forces. The townsfolk kept their distance, wary of the strange happenings at Whispering Pines. They saw strange lights flickering in the windows of Whispering Pines, and heard unsettling chants carried on the wind. Whispers of the unknown. They knew he was meddling with things best left undisturbed, things beyond human comprehension. He documented his efforts in a journal, meticulously noting every detail. His entries grew more erratic, more desperate, as he delved deeper into the mansion's dark secrets. Section 8. The Gathering Gloom. A Presence Awakens. The passage of time does not diminish the power of Whispering Pines. It strengthens it. Each tragedy, each frightened visitor, each whispered story, it all feeds the darkness. The house learns, it adapts. The phenomena grow more sophisticated, more personal. It knows your fears. It knows what will break you. The gloom within its walls is not static. It is a living, breathing thing. A predator patiently waiting, always hungry. Recent visitors report a shift, a change in the atmosphere, the playful, unsettling occurrences of the past. Moving objects, flickering lights, they are still there. Section 9. The Pines Know Your Name, an unsettling invitation. The terror of Whispering Pines is not confined to its decaying walls. It seeps out like a stain. It clings to those who venture too close. You may leave the grounds, but a part of it leaves with you. A sliver of its darkness, a whisper in the back of your mind, the memories of what you saw, what you felt. They don't fade, they sharpen. They haunt your quiet moments, your dreams. The house doesn't let you forget. The ultimate revelation is this: the whispers. They are not just echoes of the past. They are not random sounds. They are intelligent. They learn. They adapt. They call to you. Sometimes they even know your name.